morning, everyone, and welcome to your week 7 breakfast bite, your final breakfast bite. I'll tell you what, these modmasters just seem to fly by faster and faster every semester. Now, I know it's been a long year, and thankfully, hope you're just to have at least 1 week off if you're taking summer classes. But next week will be your final week, and that's when you're going to take your final exam. But I want to focus right now on your team project, deliverable 3 and 4. Now, for deliverable 3, you're creating a PowerPoint. In the PowerPoint slides, anywhere from 10 to 12 slides, please make sure, again, you put the names of all contributing team numbers as well as your team names as well as your team number on the title slide. And then after the title slide, what I want you to do is I want you to treat your PowerPoint as if it were your closing argument. So however you're going to start your closing argument, if you were before the judge or a jury, in order to present your case, how would you go about approaching that closing argument? You can start with the law, you can start with the facts and then go into the law. You can start with the issue in the case. It really is up to however you want to present it. But remember, when you create a PowerPoint, the PowerPoint is only your roadmap. So it should not be full of sentences and paragraphs. You may have graphics in it if you would like, in order to support your position. You can put a graphic in there, or 2 or 3. Don't overload the presentation with graphics, because that also can detract from the audience focusing on what you're saying. But nonetheless, anywhere from 10 to 12 slides is plenty. And then you want to highlight the laws. You want to highlight your issue. You have to discuss how the facts do or don't apply to the law. If you're the defendant and you have a defense, you want to focus on the defense to that. If it is that the facts are sketchy, you can't really tell what's what, how can the plaintiff actually present a good case if in fact the facts are vague and don't support the plaintiff's position? So there are different ways to attack a situation or to present your case. It just depends oftentimes on how you look at it. We're not always happy with the facts of a case, and we say, well, this isn't supporting my client's position. But unfortunately, that's sometimes what happens in the law or when you're doing business. So you have to think, well, what's the best case that I can present to the jury now in my closing argument to help them support a finding in my client's favor? Because the end result is you want the jury or judge to hold in your favor. So how are you going to convince them to do so? That's your closing argument, and that's what you're doing. Now, you will also be adding voiceover to your PowerPoint in order to submit it for the final presentation portion. If you want to, you can use Camtasia. You can download a free 30-day version of Camtasia, or if you have some other form of recording, you can do that as well. What I recommend to everyone, and this is the best thing to do, is just upload whatever it is you're doing for your final presentation, not the PowerPoint part, but the final presentation. Upload it to your YouTube account. Most people do have one now. It's easy to establish, not a problem. Go ahead, if you don't have one, and have somebody on your team at least establish a YouTube account. Upload the document to your YouTube account in the presentation, and then just provide the link within the Dropbox to me. 1 submission per team by the team captain or whoever else is designated to do the submission. And when you do, remember this applies to your final presentation part. And what I always recommend from the standpoint of recording is that the best way, I think, to do this is to have one person do the recording and then send that document on with the recording already, so that the other person can add to it. Camtasia, I find, is the easiest, but there's also is it Bing? Is it Bing? There are a lot of other options out there. There are a lot of free options for recording. That's what I find works best, and so that's what I like to utilize. If you have to record in segments, that's okay. But when you do you're going to have to upload those different links all in one submission by the team captain again. But if for some reason you can't get it as one cohesive presentation, that's okay. Just go ahead and get it done, and everyone can do their individual sections that they're assigned to present their part of it, because everybody does need to participate in the presentation portion of this as well. If you all have any questions, of course, feel free to contact me. This week's material, you're looking at antitrust litigation, which has to do with monopolies, avoiding unfair competition, and things of that nature, as well as environmental concerns. And when we talk about environmental concerns, of course, we're looking at sustainability and the negative impacts an environmental lawsuit could have on one's company. So, guys, have a great week 7. I've enjoyed teaching the course, and I hope you all have a really great time off. Bye.